Welcome back, my friends. Always a pleasure to see you. Can you tell where I am today? I didn't make it too obvious, did I? Yeah, I did. And I did it on purpose. And I got Milton with me today, and we're at Automate, and we're talking automation. So very important. Magnificent show. The biggest and broadest it's been in the history of Automate, from what I understand. So we need to talk from a high level, the purpose, importance, significance, and how automation can help you. Because, Milton, gosh darn it, we still have people that are scared. We still have people that don't think they need it. We still have people that are worried about the upfront cost versus the return on investment. And you, my friend, looking at your booth and all of these partners and all of these concepts, work with everyone. I mean, you are the legend everywhere I look, especially when it comes on grippers. I don't think I've seen another gripper. It's a Schunk gripper everywhere. So because you have this viewpoint working with so many folks in automation for so long, and as that German powerhouse, we get to learn a lot today from you. So I'm excited. Automation as a whole, let's dive into it a little bit and what you've learned and where it could be implemented here in the US as we're continuing to reshore, as we're continuing to discuss this labor shortage, as we're continuing to go to a global scale and produce globally as well.
Yeah, and Tony, that's the thing. You mentioned something earlier. You said this is the biggest Automate, the most exciting Automate ever. And let's say that that is the cusp of what we're seeing. People need to automate. They have a good reason. They have a justification. And it's showing right here on this show floor. But for sure, we have a long way to go.
It's all true. And I like the excitement and the buzz on your booth. I mean, your booth, you can hardly walk through it right now. And you can, for the show itself, the same way. But we do have a long way to go. So how can we convey some powerful messages about where, how, who, why automation can get into those, I would say, more small to medium-sized shops that know that they need it, but maybe there's issues somewhere along the way that kind of make them hesitate or deter or don't even know where to start?
Yeah, and I think that's the thing, so maybe if we're kind of exploring that, I could offer you this. What are we hearing in this booth? And so many people come through and they tell us about the problems they have. Maybe it's the fact that they have really skilled labor, but they just can't scale, and they've got those guys doing things that maybe aren't value add. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that's the simplest thing. It's loading a machine. They have their best people loading a machine. So now they see an application here, an example. They see a way that they can take that labor, that expertise that they have, and scale it even bigger and bigger. So those guys go off and do the things that no one else can do, measuring parts, making sure that the program is tweaked, doing whatever it is that they can add true value. And the things where the robot adds value, they find a solution here.
Milton, I can completely empathize with what you're saying. I did, as a machinist, repeat a process over and drooling on myself, wondering if I could keep up with my own boredom at this point. And automation did come in and help us with those results. And you mentioned it and you said it best. We can get back to our creativity. We can take those brains instead of redundant operations and put them into growing a company, into creating new aspects for a company. That's where we can thrive, isn't it?
It is, absolutely. And so you can come to a show like this and you can learn, you can figure out how it's doing it. How can I get the most of those people? Because you're successful today because you're in business. So you need to get more from them. So a lot of people, though, they come in the booth and right when they hit here, they look at a solution, they look at a thing and they go, wow, that could help me. But then they're looking for where to turn.
Yes.
How do I get started? Where do I go? How do I get this thing, off the ground? I now have an idea. I've seen something. And that's when they're starting to look for a partner. And you know what? They can find so many partners here on this show as well. And one that I've seen, that I've gone by many times, that is a standout, is Acieta.
Yes.
Have you been there?
Yes, great booth. They actually had a merger recently, which allows them to do even more at an expert level, which is fantastic. And I want to talk a little bit more about Acieta, but I want to connect with the audience real quick and just go, guys, Milton has already brought it up, the reasons for automation, the excitement that's here at the show, the fact that Schunk works with a whole lot of folks and integrates in so many different areas. So if you have that worry of where the heck do I start, integration is that key component to give that answer, isn't it? So Acieta, the recent merger, that is a great partner for Schunk. That's a great partner for the folks watching right now.
Absolutely. And so you get these sparks, right? You see what you can do, you know what your people are doing, and you get a spark. Where do you take the spark to get a fire? And those are the kind of guys you do that. It's a way to get started. They're able to get things going. But a lot of people find the spark trying to figure out how to get the fire started at a show like this. So yes, there's a record number of people here, but let's think of all the small to medium-sized shops, all the manufacturers who are looking for that spark. There's so many out there, and we know that that's what would bring true competitiveness to our economy and to our manufacturers. Ooh. So maybe you can continue going there.
That is powerful, my friend. What I like to do right now is kind of discuss that importance of the integration when it comes to, I know you've been into a lot of shops, I've been into a lot of shops, and if we're gonna be real honest with each other, let's have an honest moment with each other if we can. Our industry is full of confident people. We are full of saying, I know how to do something, and maybe I don't need help. Maybe I don't need to ask anyone. I can do my research on YouTube. I can do my research. I can go to a show, ask a few questions, and figure it out on my own. But how many shops have you been into where a robot or a cobot is not being utilized in its best way, or the integration of some of your products that are on these things aren't being utilized in the best way? Sometimes it's in the corner and investment, and then you get feedback going, you know, I thought it was going to do something for me, and it's just not doing what I thought. But it has very little to do with its capabilities and a lot more to do with we didn't ask enough questions. And that's where these integrators come in and say, we can help you. We have 24/7 service. Give us a call if something goes wrong. You see this every day as well, don't you?
All the time. So you go into the shop, you see the robot sitting there, and it was like some little thing that was missed. And maybe that moves to another little thing, and somehow that robot wasn't moving as much as they wanted it to move. So then they said, well, it's just not giving me the value that it should be. So anyway, what can they do? So you go to the experts, right? You go to someone like Acieta or someone, you know, that you trust, and you'll build that trust very quickly once you see what they've been doing.
Yes.
And they tell you how they have solved problems, and they know that it is the details in which makes that thing run all the time, or eliminates your changeover. Whatever was a stumbling block that made that robot not move, turn to these guys. They have the answers. They're where the rubber meets the road. And what you really want to do is stick to the things where you're an expert and let them go do the things that they're an expert.
Milton, I don't think I could have said it better myself. You are the spark to this conversation, just like there are sparks all over right now with automation. I certainly appreciate your time.
Tony, thank you so much for being here. And thank you so much for supporting our industry and all these manufacturers that are walking around this show.
Thank you so much, my friend. And thank you all for watching. Time is the one thing we cannot manufacture or make more of. So sharing it with us is so very important, just like Milton sharing his time to share some of this technology. So thank you all for watching as well.